All right, Gabe. So, have you lived here your whole life? So obviously, we're in Las Vegas. Like, are you originally from Las Vegas? Did you move here? A lot of
Yeah,
people move
I was
here.
born and raised here, but I'm Puerto Rican. My parents were born both in Ponce, Puerto Rico.
Okay. Um, and then are you like first generation? So you'd be first generation here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
hmm
pretty sick. And then when you were growing up, like, did you see a tattoo that inspired you? Like, what made you want to like go so heavily into the tattoo, or what like inspired you to get tattoos? Would you say?
Just like I've always been artistic, so I used to draw and do all these things in school, and when tattooing was still kind of not new, but like kind of growing at that age of like 16 to 18. And I was like, oh, I really want to get a tattoo when I turn 18, against my parents' wishes.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff that was big was like the words like in a half circle here or like whatever. So my first tattoo was like young angel. It's been since covered up,
Like the
but
verbiage?
yeah, because my name's Gabriel and my parents named me after Gabriel the angel in the Bible. So that's what made me get that. But obviously now I don't have that anymore.
So let's get into that, right? So your first tattoo you said was 18 and you did Young Angel. And did you laser that? You said you covered it up.
Oh no, it's been covered up twice. Then after that, I got an owl and a crow fighting over a clock, which was like kind of the resemblance of life and death. The crow taking the clock away from the owl, and the owl represented life. And I thought I was like in my little spiritual phase, but
Mm.
that's also been covered up. Now my whole body is basically geometric and ornamental.
Okay, so at one point you transitioned, right? So you did the cover up. What made you want to cover up? Were you not feeling it? Did you not like the way it was done?
I think it was impulsive, and after growing like and seeing the tattoo industry change, I was like, that is not something I want on my body for the rest of my life.
Right.
And I wanted like pure art on my body, like something like one of one, like an artist made. So that's what drove me into ornamental and geometric because everything on that is like pretty much one of one. No one ever really does
Right.
the same words or like a rose or a skull. Like it's all one of one, and like you work with the artist on perfecting what you really want in your body.
So going into that, let's kind of lean into that a little bit. So obviously we can all see that you have geometric. Everybody can now see that you have a lot of geometric done. Why geometric? Like what gravitated you to geometric besides the fact that it's so unique? Like obviously it's very unique in its style, but it's very different from I guess at our time when you first got it done. And then when did you first get like start doing geometric? Do you remember?
Um, Probably like 26. What gravitated towards what gravitated me towards that was basically just the art behind it. An artist is actually thinking of what they want to put on your body. Like, yes, you give them examples. Yes, you can show them like what you really want, but they take all those ideas and make it like yours, and you work with them on that. And it's something that I feel like is almost like a painting or a piece of artwork that's like abstract that no one can really replicate unless they like looked at your tattoo and was like, I want that.
So is that what you did getting into that, right? So that kind of leads into our next thing. Like, obviously, it's very unique. Like, how did you come to these designs? And then we'll kind of get into like artist stuff. How did you
Um,
get to these designs?
I looked at like the portfolio of what the artist had. I looked at stuff on on the web and like seeing what I liked in other people, and then kind of like blended all of those things into one thing with the artist.
So, so you basically used like references you
Yeah,
found on the internet, and then we're like, I like this style,
yeah.
and then they created something that was kind of like that. So going into that now, like when you were looking for an artist, how did you find your artist? Because obviously, I don't think Instagram was as popular when you first looked. I think 26 was a while ago. So,
Yeah, so
how'd you find your first artist? Who
yeah,
was your
it
first
literally
art?
was on Instagram. I was looking through different artists on Instagram and searching up like the hashtag geometric or ornamental,
Okay.
and I found someone in town in Las Vegas that does it. and he was an up and coming artist, but he had really great work. So yeah, so I contacted him and we fucking set it up, and that was it.
Who was the artist
It was
that actually did?
Austin.
Austin?
Yeah.
That's sick, right? So, when you hit up Austin, obviously we know you had an Owl and Young Angel. That would obviously be he did a cover up. So did he do your cover up? Who did your cover up?
So Ilya did my cover up. Austin did started with my arm, my left arm, and then also did my right leg. Um, The cover up for my chest was done by Ilya, which is like one of the most known ornamental artists in the world right now. He's Russian, from Russia, and he now has his own shop here in Las Vegas. But no one wanted to attempt to cover up my chest because it was so dark with the owl and the crow and the clock and such a piece of like long work. It was a lot to cover up, but we eventually did it a black work slash ornamental design to cover it up, and now no one can see it. And I actually got first place for best cover up at a Villain and Arts Tattoo convention.
Okay, okay. That's so when you were with Ilya, how many hours would you say? How many hours do you think you have
Just
in
on my
your
chest,
like just in your chest alone? Like when you were doing your chest, you were doing a
I
cover up.
took
How many
about 8
hours?
days and 8 to 10 hours each day, so you do the math.
So 56, I think.
Eight
56
times, no, it's
eight times
64. It's
eight.
probably like 64 to 70 hours.
Yeah, my math's trash. Okay. That's pretty cool. When you're looking at tattoos, right? So obviously this is a channel that's kind of going over like some of the best artists and some of the best tattoos out there right now. When you're looking at tattoos, like what are you looking for, like generally? When you look at like tattoos, even on the street and stuff, like
Just how first like how vivid it is from a certain distance. Like if I can tell what's going on or with the tattoo like from a distance and can see it vividly from like a 12-foot length, like that's amazing as it is. So you don't have to go up to someone so close and like look at it and see, what's going on. So that's the first thing. The second thing would be like the line work, the art, the line work on like whether it be like realism or ornamental, how sharp lines are ornamental, or how the dot work is, or like on abstract, how smooth everything is and how everything blends together.
so you're looking kind of like the whole picture, right? So we're
Yeah.
looking at like the placement, the design work, the line work, like is it a hard line that was clean, like do you
Yeah.
look at like skin, like is the skin kind of beat up or
Also look at like how it's proportioned on that person's part of the body. Like, people have different, everyone's different. And like to make it look symmetrical on someone's like leg or arm or whatever, like it takes a lot of precision and work to do that. So, um, just basically how everything lays out on that body part also as well.
okay. How many hours do you think you have in your work right now
Oh,
altogether?
definitely over a
Or
hundred.
days? How many days do you think you have?
Oh, I would say at
Like
least over a month in days.
you have 30 days
Oh, for sure.
in
If
tattoos?
you do like my arm, which has been done a couple times, so that's probably like just 15 days on its own. Probably like another 8 days on my leg, and then if you count all the cover-ups on my chest, that's like another 32. And then my right arm that just brand new, another probably 8 to 10. So yeah, I mean close to 100, over 100 hours.
Yeah. What was the worst spot, would you say, from
Oh,
what
behind
you've done?
behind the kneecap and what they call is the ditch.
The knee ditch, yeah.
Yeah, right under on the bottom, that little
It's
soft
a
tissue where it
juicy little
bends.
spot down there, huh?
Ugh. Yeah, it felt like knives, and laying belly first on it too is like feel like you're getting violated like the whole time.
It's
Yeah,
definitely a it's definitely a fucking spicy ass spot, dude.
yeah.
When you were recovering, what's like the best advice you can give somebody that's like wants to get into tattoos and they want to do like a larger piece or they know they want to give a sleeve? Like what would you give somebody? Like what advice would you give someone?
Just before you go into it, like commit. Don't be like these other 50% of the population who like go in and like, oh, I'm gonna get a full sleeve or whatever, and then halfway or like after 2 sessions be like, I can't do this anymore. It's too much pain. You have to really like know like, this is what you really want. Like, are you able to withstand it? I know they got
Mm-hmm.
numbing cream and stuff like that now, but like half the tattoo industry does frown upon it. Half the industry does think you need to earn your tattoos.
So just
So
talking on that, have you ever used numbing cream or any kind of numbing agents?
the only place I use numbing cream is for my nipples because it was literally like a jackhammer,
So do
and it
you
felt like the jackhammer from my nipples went down to my
your junk?
my junk. Yeah. And that feeling was like the weirdest and most uncomfortable feeling ever. So like for the artist not to, or for me not to jump while the artist is doing it, like that's also a big thing.
Right.
So there's certain places like, like a lot of people do use numbing cream like armpits, nipples.
If
If
you
you're like crazy down under, like
uh,
I would probably like not do that. Like
if
I'd
you
probably not use numbing cream for that
so
because you're gonna fuck up the tattoo.
if you didn't use numbing cream on your nipples, would you say your
Oh,
nipples
we
are
tried it.
worse than your knee ditch, or your knee ditch is
It's
still
two different feelings. One stabbing pain,
okay?
like horror,
Okay.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre like type shit on the
Okay.
back of your leg, and the
Spooky.
other one is just uncomfortable where
It's
like
like a spooky
you
horror
might
pain.
move like and it's just an uncontrollable movement. So those are the differences.
So it's spooky pain and then like erratic.
Yeah, like you can't control it. So that's why I use numbing cream for the nipples. I was like, I don't want my tattoo to get fucked up. I don't want it to get all I don't want him to get pissed off,
Right.
you know. Because obviously they care about what comes out at the end too. It's their fucking name on it.
Right.
So
When you were recovering, what did you use? Did you use like Aquaphor? Did you use Second Skin? What was your
when I
favorite?
was young, I used Aquaphor and stuff like that. That was like the thing back then. But over time, I tried all the things, like not using Aquaphor and just use Lubriderm, using Second Skin. I can't think it really just depends on the person,
Mm-hmm.
but the Second Skin was dope in some spots. Like it was like cool, especially like if you're working or like you have to go to your job like the next 3 days. Like Second Skin really works as it's like the least amount of
Friction.
work aftercare to do because it's just healing underneath the
Mm-hmm.
second skin. But if you're not, I like to just use straight Lubriderm regular lotion, and I can say that it comes out to me more vivid than using like Aquaphor and stuff like that because a lot of people don't know how to use Aquaphor properly. Like they put so much goop on them, and really at the end it just fades the tattoo. So you have to use such like a very thin layer. But
Yeah,
like I
it's
said, it's different for everyone.
smothers the skin.
Their skin, how it is. I have different skin than most people, so.
Right. If you were to if you were to like redo, let's say you were like a blank canvas, do you think you'd still do geometric? Like now, right now, let's say you were blank canvas
Yeah, I still
anniversary.
think I'd do geometric, but I think I would make like how every limb is like one piece. I'd
Mm-hmm.
probably like make what they call as like a bodysuit now, where like the leg and the arm and the stomach and the chest all connect to like one bigger
One
piece.
giant.
Yeah, maybe I would do that. But like, yeah, I would for sure say I would still do ornamental and geometric. I really love
So
it.
you'd still stick with like Ilya and Austin,
Yeah, for
probably
sure,
continue it.
for sure.
Have you seen anything out there that like inspired you to like possibly continue? Like where are we at right now with you and your tattoos? Are you like still continuing to get them? Are you like trying to get to that piece and make
Well,
it? Because
yeah,
obviously your tattoos
all of
flow nice.
last year, fucking went every month last year to get a tattoo or to work on like what was already going on. But since then, I have not got anything new. I'm kind of waiting to see like what I really want to do because all I really have left is my back, my left leg, and my stomach. So I want to make sure that I what I get is something I really want and something that's timeless, like for the future.
Right. For you,
Yeah, for
because it's all
me.
perspective, right?
Yeah.
If you were to give advice to somebody, right? We kind of did this before, but I know a lot of people, like maybe they're first timers, maybe they want to redo, maybe they want to cover up. What would you say would be like the best advice for people like getting into tattoos that like besides committing to it, right? When they're like looking for artists, what's the best thing that they can do when contacting these high-end artists? Like how'd you get a hold of Ilya? Was it very simple? Like did you just DM homie and he hit you back? Like
Yeah, well, I DM'd him and then I got on Instagram and then I got forwarded to like send him the email and then like I wouldn't expect a response right away. A lot of these artists are booked for months and months and months, some years. So like it took him 2 weeks to get back. And also I would definitely like ask them what they're going to charge you right away because like you don't want to go into this whole process without knowing like how much you're going to pay because it might not be affordable to some people.
right,
Make sure you have the funds ready. I would say have the funds ready as in like you're ready to pay if you had to pay for the full tattoo today,
right.
then make sure you have that money or a credit card with a big limit or
So,
something like that. Yeah. Also, the time it's going to take and also the pain you're going to go through. Like,
yeah.
you got to commit to all these things. It's not just a one thing, like, oh, I'm going to go get a tattoo and it's going to be this easy. It's not
Yeah,
that
time,
easy.
money,
Time, money,
management.
respect to the tattoo artist, time, like, definitely time. Like, you probably will see him once a month, if that.
How would you say somebody is being like quote unquote like good client for like an artist, right? How is it how would somebody be like a good client for an artist? Like what's the ideal client in your eyes as a client from what you've seen for somebody?
An ideal client is I wouldn't haggle any
Mm,
prices. Like if they tell you this is the price, and that's the
no
price.
negotiating.
Yeah, there's no negotiating. Like if you really want this tattoo by this artist, you need to respect what they are charging you. Um, you don't want to go into that because that's the first thing, that's the first impression and I'm long friends with all my tattoo artists. So like you become friends with these people because you're sitting with them for like 8 hours to 10 hours a day, depending on how much you can withstand. And they become lifelong friends. I've gone to tattoo competitions with these artists and placed for these artists.
What was that
So
like?
like, what was that like?
What was it like going to like competition and like placing? Like, did you like it? Did you not like it?
Oh, I liked it. I mean, it's cool to go see other you at the
Like network?
convention and see other artists, what they got going on. And it's really cool bringing back proof of that your tattoo is dope when you get like first or second place awards and stuff like that. Then you realize, damn, like this shit is sick,
Right.
and everyone else agrees with it too. So
Yeah.
it's almost like proof in the pudding.
Right now in this day and age, right, there's a lot of like mainstream stuff. What's your like biggest bugaboo? Like what drives you not like what
The
drives you the craziest right now with like mainstream
the
tattoos?
mainstream
What
mall stamp tattoos everyone's
like
getting, like
sticker flash
yeah,
tattoos
sticker.
or
It's almost like tramp stamp tattoos all over your body. And like if that's for you, then that's for you. I'm not shitting on that genre of tattoos, but like are you sure you're gonna want all those little plops on your body like down the road? And how many of those are gonna fade? Like think about if you got like 8 stamp tattoos on your arm and then like the first two are older, then you gotta get that one touched up. You gotta get that one touched up, or then your arm's just gonna look all fucking funky. You know what I mean? So like that's not my preference and I'm not hating on that tattoo part of like that genre, but it's not something I would do. I'm all about whole like artistic, spiritual, real one of one pieces. And stamp tattoos are more like, what's in or what's the fad. And you could do a stamp tattoo and think this was cool, and then like 3 years later, like it's stupid. So
okay, fair enough, fair enough. I get what you're saying. There's a lot of cool micro tattoos out though that can be depicted as stamp tattoos, like the
yeah,
quarter size
that's
tattoos.
different though.
But again, those will need touch ups. Like I don't think people understand that like the amount of detail in some of these that some of these artists will are like have and have done, which obviously we'll review and we'll like bring on the channel, is wild. But yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
obviously there is potential for fading. So here's the big question. Ready? So obviously in this channel, we're gonna be going over like some of the highest end artists. We're gonna have artists on our channel. We're gonna like showcase all the best tattoos in their different segment.
Hmm.
Like, what makes you so qualified for it? Like, what? Why should people listen to us?
I think
Slash you.
like I've been through that part where I've got impulsive tattoos, made bad decisions, and then decided to cover them up and had to spend extra money to do all that. I've had cover ups. I've had award winning tattoos on my chest and my leg. I've had gone to conventions and experienced all of those attributes of like the tattoo industry, being around all of this, what to look for in really good tattoos or really good tattoo
Right.
artists and how they're doing it and their artistry towards it.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely agree. Obviously, that's why I have you as a partner. Um, I don't really have anything else, dude. That's like
Yeah,
everything.
sweet.